some people naturally have very high voice. It doesn't mean that you can't be attractive, but you can always make more things to be more attractive, and you can always lower your voice for a few octaves. It doesn't mean that from a naturally very high voice you can start sounding like Lurch, but you can do a lot, and it's easy.
The way you talk should be slow. Put some pauses, spaces between the words to make them more interesting. So every so and then, when you want to amplify something, create a pause where they think what is going to say, what is going to say. Movements and other gestures that you use should be the same speed as the speed of your voice, your words. If it is too fast, you talk slow and you have very fast movements, you're gonna look uncalibrated, you're gonna look awkward, weird. So if you talk slow, move slow. If you talk fast, move fast, energetic. But don't talk slow and move fast. That's wrong. So your movements, your body movements, should be the same speed as your voice. If you walk slow, you should talk slow. It's very interesting about walking. If you walk very fast towards the table, guess what? You're gonna talk very fast on the table, because brain has only one speed. So if you walk fast, you're gonna talk fast. That's why approach starts when you walk towards the table. So slow down. If you slow down yourself, everything else what you do on a table or around the table or around the bar is going to be the same speed as the speed you walk.
Make sure that you sometimes change the pace of your talk, because you don't want to look boring to other people. So if you're meeting girls, and you know some people always have this monotonous way of talking, change the pace sometimes. Sometimes you'll talk faster because you're explaining something or because you're talking about some exciting event. And sometimes when the conversation is more personal, you will slow down, you will relax more. Generally make sure that your talk is not boring, that your talk is not monotonous. A lot of guys have this monotonous way of, like, their talk is flat line. Your talk needs to be full of ups and downs. That way you will keep attention easier. One of the biggest problems in crowded places, in noisy places, is how to keep attention. With interesting way of talking, it's easier to keep people's attention.
Yeah, noisy places. In loud clubs, it's like very useful to project your voice through the space. What I usually do is something different. I'm not sure how this works, but it works. When you talk with people and you want your voice to project your whole room, you don't need to yell. It's just something different that you do. And just instead of talking through your mouth, imagine you like a speakers here and here on your chin. So like those like small PC speakers here, and imagine you talk through them. So like, and you can like turn it on louder and louder. Just like talk through them. Instead of talking through the mouth, you just talk, you project your voice through speakers. This way, you're gonna get this thing so like the voice goes through the room. This is very useful when you have like lots of girls in a group and you need to talk with all of them.
I have a good tip for our students, and that one is pronounce clearly when you're in noisy places, like clubs and bars. Now, those places are not the best places to talk, so the less talk, the better. But when you're talking, more important than shouting is to talk loud and pronounce clearly. That way people will understand you easier. If girls don't understand you, if they can't hear what you're saying, they will start feeling uncomfortable and they will start leaning in and saying what, and then you'll have to lean in and it won't look good.
That reminds me on this thing that I do all the time is when I need to repeat something or she's too far away from me, what I'm gonna do is like I'm gonna just grab her here and get her close, blah blah blah. So it's not me who is leaning in, it's her who is leaning in. So it's always like kind of half-half. As well, what I do sometimes is I'm gonna purposely lower down my voice in very loud clubs. So it's gonna be something very interesting that I'm saying, but you cannot hear because I'm lowering down my voice, so it's more and more quiet. You want to make her leaning in towards you.
What I sometimes do is I just pull her close and I keep her that way. Also, what I do is I put my hand behind her back, and that way it's like I feel her, I get to feel her and she gets to feel me. And also we are closer and we can hear each other easier, but also there is this physical contact. It's a good thing to do in the clubs. Good way of walking can help you get attraction. If you're curious about this topic, you can spend a few hours in some public place, like lobby of a museum or a cafe, and you will notice how people that have a slower style, more dominant style of walking, they get more attention from other people. And you will also notice that some people just don't get noticed in public places. The reason behind that is the athletic, macho way of walking sparks immediate attraction. Now, some guys, they have this thing going on from that. Whenever they enter some place like a cafe or a club, they immediately get noticed. Some other guys, they always stick to the corners. They are in some shady places. They dress in gray colors, and they avoid attention. Right? The good way of learning about this is watching athletes, how they walk. Right? You will notice like boxers or all the guys that do some sport that requires you to release a lot of energy, or some muscular guys, not too much. They always have this good way of walking.
See, the key, what I think, is like not to put too much attention when you're walking, if you're cautious too much about it. Just let it flow. The key is to walk slow, to move, to do like a big steps, but to put the balance on left foot, right foot. You walk slow. As well, you must be aware that center of man's body is chest. So that's still, and things move. Center of female body is hips. As well, looking, where do you look when you walk? You look always above the horizon. You don't look at the floor. Again, you're avoiding eye contact. You just like look above the floor. It means your chin is up. And that's how you talk. That's how you walk. It means your chin is up. And that's how you walk. You carry yourself. Bigger steps, but put some time on those steps.
There's a big difference between guys that walk in this slow way with the chest in front, with the chin up, with the eyes above the horizon, and the guys that move really quickly and they have some kind of nervous movements. And that is the difference between being attractive and being not attractive. So it's not, you're not supposed to be overly aware of your way. Like you won't walk down the street and think, oh, what's the way that I'm walking? Because then it will become stiff. The best way is to train some high energy sport that will give you naturally this way of moving, and also to recognize, are you the person that moves quickly and walks too quickly and watches down in front of his feet.
Basically, general tip that we're trying to say here is slow radiates confidence and dominance, and fast movements are nervous movements, and they're not gonna give you attraction. So, in general, all you guys, you should slow down your movements, your voice on a half of the speed. Everything you do, cut on a half of the speed you do it. Slow it down. Because girls, for some reason, they love slow, indifferent, slow, reactive guys. The more slow it is, the more dominant, confident it's gonna appear. Walking is the same. This is a general tip for your body language.
Again, don't overdo it, because then you look like you think that your shit is too cool. So walk slowly, but don't exaggerate it.
When you walk, don't hide yourself in corners. Walk to center, to dance floor, but be cool, slow. Don't be afraid that people are looking at you. As well, it goes on dressing style. Don't dress in gray, dark colors. Dress more like a flashy. You want to be noticed. Being noticed, again, is going to cause some attraction. Some girls will look at you. You have more chances to attract some girls than if you're just dark corners and walking fast through class.
There's a big difference between guys that are dressed in a good way, in an attractive way, because they communicate different things. If you're dressed in a good way, if you have a good way of moving through the space, if you're holding the center of attention, if you're positioning yourself in the center of the room or on the very visible place, it shows confidence. On the other hand, people that keep on the side, they show lack of confidence, right? So this way of moving will give you more confidence and also make you look more confident. That is more attractive.
Yeah. Chest. Make sure when you walk, your chest go first. You're gonna know that your chest are up once you feel your back muscles. If you feel your muscles in the back are tight and you feel them, that means your chest are there. So you walk like there's a line to the space that goes to your chest. So you don't move your chest stays still, and you walk. Later we're gonna show you, we're gonna demonstrate you here on the floor how to walk through space. But just keep in your mind that chest are up and your eyes look is above the horizon. So when you walk through the club, as I told you, keep your chin up, it means eye contact. Your eyes above horizon. Chest out. There's a line that goes here. Walk on that line. Center of man's body is chest. Center of female body is hips. So you know how for them, hips go straight and they move. Everything else. Gay guys do the same. So how you gonna walk is chest up, bigger steps, slow. When you put your foot there, put all the balance on the right leg, put left foot there, all the balance on the left foot. Bigger steps, but slow.
Can you see me? Can you see me? I've been never will. I never will. You didn't think that I'd be okay. I'd be okay. Come again. Come again.
Guys, leading is crucial.